the quiet between thoughts. There is a window. You are sitting near it. The light outside is changing, has been changing, will continue to change. You notice this without deciding to notice. The noticing happens on its own. Your body rests in the chair. The chair holds you. This has always been true about chairs, about sitting, about the way weight settles into furniture. There is no effort in this. The chair does not try to hold you. You do not try to sit. These things occur. Beyond the window, the sky is dimming. Not quickly, not slowly, simply dimming in the way that sky dims when day becomes evening. You have seen this before. You will see this again. Right now, you are seeing it. A thought arrives. Something about tomorrow. Something that needs doing or remembering. The thought is there, and then it is less there, and then it has drifted past like a leaf on water. You did not push it away. It simply moved on. The window glass is cool. You know this though you are not touching it. You remember coolness. You remember windows. These memories exist quietly in the background of sitting, of watching, of being here. There is a sound from somewhere outside. A car perhaps, or wind, or something else. The sound comes and fills the air and then empties from the air. More sounds will come. They always do. They arrive and leave like breath. Your breath is moving in you. In and out. Rising and falling. You are not breathing. Breathing is happening. There is a difference, though the difference is small and quiet. Your chest rises. Your chest falls. This has been happening since you were born. This will happen until it stops happening. The darkness is settling now. Settling is the right word. It does not crash down or sweep in. It settles like dust, like snow, like anything that comes gradually and without announcement. The room around you is becoming darker. The shapes are still there. The chair, the walls, the window frame. They are becoming suggestions of themselves. Another thought. This one about something said earlier, or yesterday, or last week. Words that were spoken. Words that were heard. The thought turns over once, twice, and then it loosens and drifts upward like smoke. You watch it go. Not with your eyes. With something quieter than eyes. There is space between thoughts. This space is always there. Even when thoughts come quickly, one after another, the space exists in the tiny gap between them. Like the space between heartbeats. Like the pause between one breath ending and the next beginning. The window shows less now. The details outside have blurred into general darkness. A streetlight somewhere makes a small glow. Trees are shadows. The sky is a deep color that is almost not a color. You are seeing all of this without trying to see. Your eyes are open. Images arrive. A memory surfaces. Not a full memory. A fragment. The feeling of sun on skin, or the smell of rain, or a room you once sat in. The fragment is soft around the edges. It does not demand anything. It simply is, and then it is not. Your hands rest where they rest. On the arms of the chair, or in your lap, or loose at your sides. They are warm. They are heavy in the way that hands are heavy when they are not doing anything. The fingers curl slightly. This is natural. This is how fingers rest. Far away, another sound. Maybe a door closing. Maybe footsteps. Maybe nothing you can name. The sound is there, and then the quiet returns. The quiet is larger than the sound. The quiet holds the sound the way the ocean holds a wave. The sound disappears back into quiet. The air in the room is still. Not completely still. Nothing is ever completely still. But still enough that you notice the stillness. The slight coolness on your face. The way the air sits in your lungs and then leaves. The way it is always there, invisible, surrounding everything. A thought about someone. A face. A name. A feeling. The thought has no weight. It passes through like light through glass. You do not hold onto it. You do not push it away. It comes because thoughts come. It goes because thoughts go. The window is darker now. If you look long enough, you can see faint reflections. Your own shape, dim and ghostly. The shapes of furniture behind you. These reflections are not quite real. They are suggestions. They shift when you shift. They are still when you are still. You have been sitting for a while. Time has passed. You are not sure how much time. It does not matter how much time. Time passes whether you count it or not. Minutes collect into longer stretches. Moments blur together. This moment, right now, is the only one that exists. Another thought. Something small. A task. A question, a fleeting worry. It arrives with a whisper of urgency, or what feels like urgency, but then it softens. The edges blur. The thought becomes less solid, less important. It floats away like a balloon released into air. The chair beneath you is completely familiar. You have stopped noticing it as a separate thing. You and the chair are one continuous surface. The boundary between your body and the furniture has grown soft. This is what happens when you sit very still. The edges blur. Outside, the darkness is complete now, or nearly complete. There are still gradations if you look. Deeper black against lighter black. Shapes that might be trees. Spaces that might be sky. Everything is quiet out there. Everything is still. Your breathing continues. In, out. In, out. The rhythm is steady. You are not making it steady. It steadies itself. Like water finding its level. Like everything in nature that finds its balance without trying. A thought about the past. Something that happened. The thought has no sharp edges. It is worn smooth by time, by distance, by the gentle erosion of forgetting. You see it the way you might see a stone at the bottom of a clear stream. It is there. It is unchanged. It requires nothing from you. The space between your thoughts is growing. Not because you are making it grow, but because thoughts are arriving less frequently. They have less to say. They are content to drift by without stopping. Like clouds. Like birds passing overhead. There is a feeling in your body. Not quite tiredness. Not quite relaxation. Something between the two. A softness. A heaviness that is pleasant. Your muscles have released whatever they were holding. Your jaw is loose. Your shoulders have dropped. This happened without you noticing when it happened. The window is a dark rectangle now. The glass reflects almost nothing. It is a surface between here and there, between inside and outside. But the difference between inside and outside is less distinct than it was. The darkness is everywhere. The quiet is everywhere. Another sound, very distant. A siren maybe, or a train, or the wind picking up. The sound is so far away it might be imagined. It comes and it goes and it leaves no trace. The silence after it is the same as the silence before it. A thought about nothing in particular. A formless wondering. A vague question without words. It rises up and disperses like steam. You cannot remember what the thought was, even though it was just here. It does not matter that you cannot remember. Your eyes are heavy. Or maybe they are not heavy. Maybe they are simply resting. Resting in the way that eyes rest when there is nothing urgent to see. The lids might close. They might stay open. Either way is fine. Either way is the same. The darkness outside is so complete now that you cannot see where the ground ends and the sky begins. It is all one darkness. Unbroken. Soft. The kind of darkness that is not frightening. The kind that feels like being held. Time is moving. Time is always moving. But it moves differently when you sit still. It stretches. It pulls. Seconds feel longer. Minutes feel shorter. The measuring of time becomes uncertain. This moment could be any moment. This darkness could be any darkness. A memory of water. A lake or the ocean or rain falling on pavement. The memory has no story attached to it. Just the sense of water. The sound of it. The feeling of it. The memory is peaceful. It asks nothing. It simply exists for a moment and then recedes. Your heartbeat is there if you pay attention. A gentle rhythm in your chest. But you do not need to pay attention. It continues whether you notice or not. Like everything else that keeps you alive. The breathing, the blood moving, the quiet machinery of the body doing what it does. Another thought. Or maybe the same thought returning. It does not matter. Thoughts are like waves. One is the same as another. They rise, they fall. They come from somewhere unknown and return to somewhere unknown. You are the shore. You watch them arrive and depart. The chair creaks very slightly. Or maybe it does not creak. Maybe that was imagination. The house settles. Houses do this. They shift and breathe and make small sounds. These sounds are comforting. They are the sounds of shelter. Of being inside while outside exists beyond the walls. There is nothing you need to do. This is important to remember, though you are not trying to remember anything. There is nothing to fix. Nothing to solve. Nothing to decide. The world continues without your intervention. It always has. It always will. The window is a dark mirror now. If you look at it, you see only darkness looking back. The darkness is clean. It is simple. It asks nothing and gives nothing. It simply is. Your body is heavier now. Or lighter. It is hard to tell. Maybe both. Heavy where it touches the chair. Light everywhere else. The boundaries of your body are less certain. You end somewhere. You begin somewhere. The somewhere is vague and soft. A thought about tomorrow. What needs to happen? What might happen? The thought arrives with a small flutter of something like concern, but the concern does not catch. It does not grip. It passes through and away. Tomorrow will arrive whether you think about it or not. Tomorrow will handle itself. The sounds from outside have stopped. Or maybe they continue and you have stopped hearing them. It is the same either way. The quiet is so deep now it has texture. You can almost touch it. You can almost taste it. It fills the room like water fills a glass. Your breath is so quiet you can barely hear it. In and out. Rising and falling. The air enters and leaves. Your body knows what to do with it. Your body has always known. You do not need to help. You do not need to try. Another thought. Softer than the others. Lighter. It barely forms before it dissolves. Like frost melting on glass. Like footprints in sand at the edge of water. There and not there at the same time. The space between thoughts is wider now. Seconds pass with nothing. Then more seconds. The emptiness is not empty. It is full of quiet. Full of stillness. Full of the gentle hum of existence without thought. Your eyes might be closed now. You are not sure. It makes no difference. Closed or open, the darkness is the same. The gentle dark of evening. The soft dark of rest. The dark that comes before sleep and feels like safety. The window is still there. The chair is still there. You are still there. But these things are less separate than they were. Everything has blurred together into one continuous experience. Sitting, breathing, being. The divisions between them have disappeared. A sound in the distance. Or not a sound. Maybe just the memory of sound. Maybe just the possibility of sound. It does not resolve into anything particular. It remains vague. It remains soft. It causes no disturbance. Time has passed. How much time, you do not know. It could be minutes. It could be longer. The measurement does not matter. What matters is this moment, this breath, this gentle descent into stillness. Your thoughts are like birds now. They fly overhead, very high, very far away. You see them passing, but you cannot make out details. They are distant specks against a vast sky. They do not land. They do not call out. They simply pass. The darkness outside is infinite. It goes on forever. It has no edges, no corners. It is the darkness of space, of depth, of everything that exists beyond the small circle of light we live in. But it is not threatening. It is peaceful. It is the natural state of things. Your body has found its position. Every muscle knows where to be. Every joint has settled into place. There is no tension, no holding, just the natural arrangement of bones and flesh in a state of rest. Another thought tries to form. It begins to take shape, but before it fully arrives, it dissipates. Like breath on a mirror, like mist in sun. It was almost something. Now it is nothing. This is fine. This is how it should be. The quiet between thoughts is all there is now. The thoughts themselves have become rare visitors. They come less and less frequently. The quiet expands to fill the spaces they leave behind. The quiet is generous. The quiet is vast. Your heartbeat is slower. Not slow enough to worry about. Just slow. The rhythm of rest. The rhythm of a body that has released its grip on doing, on trying, on moving forward. A body that has remembered how to simply be. The window shows nothing now. No reflections. No light. Just the clean darkness of night. The world beyond the glass has disappeared into that darkness. Or maybe it is still there, just invisible. It makes no difference. What you cannot see cannot trouble you. A memory floats by. Not a full memory. Just a feeling. The feeling of something warm. Or something soft. The feeling has no image attached. No story. Just the pure sensation of warmth, of softness, of something that once was and now is remembered without effort. The air in the room has cooled slightly. You notice this at the edges of awareness. The coolness is pleasant. It touches your face gently. It moves around you like water around a stone. You are still. The air moves. This is the natural order. Your breathing has become so automatic you have forgotten it is happening. But it is happening. It continues. In and out. The oldest rhythm. The first rhythm. The one that began when you were born and will end only when everything ends. A thought about nothing. Or a thought about everything. It is hard to tell which. The thought is so vague, so formless, it could be anything. It could be everything. It arrives and leaves in the same moment, like a wave that rises and falls in a single breath. The space between thoughts is not empty. This is important, though you are not thinking about importance. The space is full of awareness, full of presence, full of the quiet hum of being alive without needing to do anything about it. Your body is so still now it is almost not there. You can feel it if you try, but trying seems like too much effort. Better to let it be. Better to let it rest in its own way, without interference, without help. The window reflects nothing. The room contains everything. These two facts exist together without contradiction. The dark outside. The dark inside. The thin pane of glass between them. The glass that keeps nothing out and nothing in. Another sound from far away. So far it barely qualifies as sound. It is more like the idea of sound. The memory of sound. It touches the edge of hearing and disappears. The quiet rushes back in to fill the space it left. Time is doing what time does. Moving forward. But forward has lost its meaning. There is only now. This breath. This moment. This gentle descent into stillness that has no beginning and no end. A thought about someone you love. Not the person themselves. Just the feeling of love. The feeling is soft. It is warm. It asks nothing. It simply exists like everything else exists. Quietly. Gently. Without demand. Your eyes are closed. Or they are open. You cannot tell anymore. The darkness is the same either way. The soft, encompassing darkness that holds everything. That holds you. That asks nothing in return. The chair beneath you has disappeared. Not literally. But you have stopped feeling it as separate. You and the chair are one thing. You and the room are one thing. The boundaries have dissolved like sugar in water. Another thought begins to form. Something about tomorrow. Something about later. But it cannot hold its shape. It falls apart before it fully arrives. The pieces scatter like leaves in wind. They blow away into the darkness. The quiet is complete now. Not the quiet of absence. The quiet of presence. The quiet of everything being exactly as it is without needing to be different. This quiet is alive. This quiet breathes. Your body knows what to do. It always has. Heart beating, blood moving, breath flowing, all of it happening without thought, without effort, without you. You are simply the witness, the quiet observer, the one who sits and watches and lets everything be. The window is there. The darkness is there. You are there. These facts exist together in perfect stillness. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to change. Everything is already exactly as it should be. A thought drifts by. You barely notice it. It is so light, so insubstantial, it might be imagination. It might be nothing at all. It passes like a shadow passes. Here and then not here. The difference is so slight it hardly matters. The space between thoughts is endless now. Seconds pass. Minutes pass. Nothing arrives to fill them. Just the pure experience of being, of existing, of breathing in and breathing out in a dark room on an ordinary evening. Your body is heavy with rest, heavy with the pleasant weight of letting go, of releasing, of allowing everything to be exactly as it is without interference. The weight is comforting. It is the weight of peace. The darkness outside has depth, layers of black upon black, shades you cannot name. The darkness is not flat. It is dimensional. It goes back forever. It goes down forever. It is the darkness that holds the world. Another sound. Or maybe not. Maybe just the sound of your own blood in your ears. The sound of being alive. The sound that is always there if you listen. But you are not listening. You are simply being. And being is enough. Time has stopped meaning anything. It continues to pass. But you have stepped outside of it. You are in a pocket of stillness where time moves around you but does not touch you. Where time exists but does not matter. A thought about the past. Something that happened long ago. The thought is faint. It has traveled a long distance to get here. It arrives exhausted, without urgency. It rests for a moment and then continues on its way, going where thoughts go when they are finished. The quiet between thoughts is all that remains. The thoughts themselves have become so rare they are almost theoretical. They might exist somewhere. But not here. Not now. Here there is only quiet. Only stillness. Only the gentle rhythm of breath. Your heartbeat is there. Steady. Reliable. The sound beneath all sounds. The rhythm beneath all rhythms. It continues without pause. It has never stopped. It will not stop. Not yet. Not now. Now there is only the steady pulse of life continuing. The window shows nothing because there is nothing to show. The darkness outside is complete. The darkness inside is growing. They meet at the glass and cannot tell each other apart. There is just darkness, gentle, soft, encompassing everything. Another memory, not of anything specific, just a feeling of movement, of being carried, of being held. The memory is ancient. It might be from childhood. It might be from yesterday. Time has blurred all memories into one continuous stream of having been, of having existed before this moment. Your body is dissolving, not actually, but the sensation of it. The boundaries are soft. You cannot tell where you end and the chair begins, where the chair ends and the air begins. Everything blurs together into one continuous field of gentle sensation. A thought tries to arrive. It cannot quite make it. It hovers at the edge of awareness, uncertain. It does not have enough energy to fully form. It gives up. It drifts away. You watch it go without interest, without concern. The space between thoughts is infinite. It stretches in all directions, up and down, forward and back. There is nothing to measure it against, nothing to compare it to. It is simply vast, simply endless, simply here. Your breathing is so subtle now it is almost not breathing, just the gentlest movement of air, in and out, rising and falling. The body doing what bodies do, what they have always done, what they will continue to do until they stop. The window is a dark rectangle. The room is a dark space. You are a dark shape sitting in a dark chair. Everything is degrees of darkness, shades of night, variations on a theme of quiet and stillness and letting go. Another sound from outside, or from inside, or from memory. The sound is so faint it might not be real. It comes and goes like everything comes and goes. Like thoughts, like moments, like the breath that moves through you without asking permission. Time is irrelevant now. It exists somewhere, but not here. Here there is only this moment, this breath, this gentle sensation of being alive in a dark room with nothing to do and nowhere to go and nothing to become. A thought about tomorrow, about next week, about next year. The thought is so pale it is transparent. You can see right through it. It has no substance. It has no weight. It passes through you like light through air, like rain through water. The quiet is everything now. It fills the room. It fills your body. It fills the space between heartbeats, between breaths, between thoughts that no longer arrive. The quiet is generous. It gives everything and asks nothing. It simply is. Your body has found perfect stillness, not the stillness of death, the stillness of deep rest. The stillness of a body that has finally stopped trying, stopped doing, stopped holding anything together. The stillness of complete letting go. The darkness outside continues. The darkness inside continues. They are the same darkness. They have always been the same darkness. The window between them is just glass. Just sand that was melted and cooled and shaped. It keeps nothing in. It keeps nothing out. Another thought. The last thought. Or maybe not the last, but close to the last. It comes slowly. It is in no hurry. It drifts past like a leaf on a slow river. It does not catch on anything. It does not snag. It simply moves through and is gone. The space between thoughts is all that remains. Pure space. Pure quiet. Pure stillness. There is nothing to add to it. Nothing to take from it. It is complete exactly as it is. Perfect exactly as it is. Enough exactly as it is. Your breathing continues. In and out. So gentle now. So easy. The body knows. The body has always known. There is nothing to teach it. Nothing to correct. It breathes. You exist. These are the same thing. The window shows the darkness it has always shown. The chair holds the weight it has always held. You sit where you have always been sitting. Everything is the same. Everything is still. Everything is quiet. And in that quiet, in that stillness, in that gentle darkness, there is nothing to solve. Nothing to decide. Nothing to become. Just this. Just now. Just the soft rhythm of being alive. Just the gentle spaces between thoughts. Just the quiet. Just the dark. Just the breath. Just this moment. And this one. And this one. The darkness continues. The quiet continues. You continue. Breathing in. Breathing out. Being here. Being now. Being. Just being. Being. Breathing. Here. Now. This. Quiet. Dark. Still. Here. Now. Here. The chair supports you still. It has never stopped supporting you. This is what chairs do. What they have always done. They hold weight without complaint. Without effort. The wood or metal or whatever substance forms them simply exists in the shape of holding. And you exist in the shape of being held. Outside, the night continues its slow work. The work of being night. Of holding darkness. Of letting the world rest beneath its cover. The night asks nothing of you. It does not need you to witness it. It does not need you to understand it. It simply spreads itself across everything and waits. Your hands have not moved. Or maybe they have moved slightly, shifted a fraction, settled deeper into rest. The movement is so small it might not be movement at all. Just the sensation of weight redistributing. Of flesh and bone finding a more complete version of stillness. A thought comes. About sleep. About whether you are sleeping or awake. The thought cannot decide which is true. Maybe both. Maybe neither. Maybe the line between them has blurred so completely that there is no difference anymore. Just this state of being. This gentle hovering between one thing and another. The window glass is there. Solid. Cool. Separating inside from outside. But the separation feels thin. Feels permeable. As if the darkness could seep through if it wanted. As if the quiet could flow both ways. Through the glass. Through the walls. Through everything that pretends to be solid. Another sound. Or the absence of sound. Sometimes the absence of sound is louder than sound itself. The space where a sound could be but isn't. That negative space. That emptiness that has shape and weight and presence. Your body breathes for you. It has always breathed for you. Before you knew you had a body. Before you knew what breathing was. Before you knew anything at all. The body came first. It knew first. It still knows. You are just along for the journey. The darkness outside has texture if you look long enough. Granular. Like fabric. Like the weave of something vast spread across the sky. You can almost see the individual threads of darkness. Almost touch the spaces between them. Almost understand the pattern. Time moves in ways you cannot track. Minutes fold into each other. Moments overlap. The present stretches backward and forward simultaneously. You are here now. But now includes all the moments before this and all the moments that will come after. Now is bigger than you thought. More generous. More patient. A memory of morning. Light coming through a window. Not this window. Some other window from some other time. The memory is pleasant without being specific. Just the general sensation of light arriving. Of darkness lifting. Of the world becoming visible again. But that is not now. Now is this. This darkness. This stillness. This gentle descent into the quiet between all things. Your shoulders have dropped even further. You did not know they could drop any further. But they found a way. They found a deeper level of release. Of letting go. The muscles have remembered something they forgot. Or they have forgotten something they were holding. Either way, they are softer now. The chair creaks. Or does not creak. The house settles. Or has already settled. These small ambiguities no longer matter. The world is full of things that might be happening or might not be happening. And all of them are fine. Another thought about nothing. Or everything. The thought has no edges. No center. It is just a vague presence. Like humidity. Like the feeling of air before rain. Something diffuse and everywhere and nowhere at once. The space between thoughts has become your home. You live there now. In that gap. In that pause. In that generous emptiness that asks nothing and gives everything. The thoughts themselves are just visitors. They come. They go. You remain in the space they leave behind. Your heartbeat is a distant drum. Soft. Steady. Reliable. It has been beating since before you can remember. It will beat until some future moment you cannot imagine. Right now it beats. That is all. That is enough. The window shows the world. Or shows the absence of the world. In darkness, everything is potential. Everything is possible. The tree outside could be anything. The street could lead anywhere. The sky could contain universes you have never imagined. But probably it just contains the usual things. Stars. Clouds. The moon somewhere behind the darkness. A sound like breathing that is not your breathing. The house breathes. Buildings do this. They expand and contract with temperature. With humidity. With the weight of time pressing down on them. They sigh and settle and make small sounds that could be mistaken for ghosts or could just be wood and stone doing what wood and stone do. Your eyes are so heavy. or so light. They have transcended weight. They simply are, resting in their sockets. Seeing or not seeing, it makes no difference. What is there to see in darkness? What is there to look for when looking has stopped? Another memory drifts through. A childhood room, or a room from last year. The memory does not specify, just the sense of being in a room, of being safe, of walls around you and a ceiling above you, and the feeling of being held by structure, by shelter, by the human need for inside when there is outside. The darkness is complete now, total. If you opened your eyes wide, you would see nothing. If you closed them tight, you would see the same nothing. The darkness is democratic. It gives the same gift to open eyes and closed eyes. The gift of not needing to see. Time has dissolved. You are in a pocket of timelessness. The clocks in the house may be ticking. The earth may be turning. The universe may be expanding. But here, in this chair, in this room, time has pooled and grown still like water in a quiet pond. A thought about gratitude. Not for anything specific. Just the feeling of being grateful. For this moment. For this quiet. For the gift of being able to sit and breathe and exist without anything being required. The gratitude is soft. It does not announce itself. It simply is. Your breath is a whisper now. In and out. So gentle. So easy. The body has perfected the art of breathing without effort. Without thought. It is doing what evolution designed it to do. What millions of years of breathing have taught it. It breathes. You exist. These facts are inseparable. The window is a portal to nothing, to everything, to the great dark mystery of night. You do not need to understand it. You do not need to name it. You can simply sit with it. Let it be what it is. Let yourself be what you are. Two darknesses sitting together in companionable silence. Another sound from the depths of the house. A settling. A shifting. Old wood remembering its former life as a tree. Walls remembering the earth they came from. Everything in the house is slowly returning to what it was before humans shaped it. But slowly. So slowly you will not see it happen. You will only hear these small sounds. These gentle reminders of impermanence. Your body is completely still now. Not frozen. Not rigid. Just deeply, profoundly still. The stillness of a lake on a windless day. The stillness of snow before anything has walked through it. The stillness that contains all potential movement but chooses, for now, to simply rest. The darkness outside is infinite. It goes on forever. Beyond this street. Beyond this town. Beyond this country. Out into space where darkness is the natural state of things. Where light is the exception. The rare gift. The brief interruption in the endless dark. A thought about tomorrow. What might happen? What might not happen? The thought is thin. Transparent. You can see right through it to the nothing behind it. The thought realizes it has no power here. No relevance. It retreats quietly. Apologetically. Back into the place where unformed thoughts wait. The space between thoughts is vast. Oceanic. You float in it like a leaf on water. Not sinking. Not swimming. just floating, carried by nothing, going nowhere, being exactly where you are. Your hands have grown warm or cool. Temperature has become relative, unimportant. They are what they are, resting where they rest, doing nothing, being nothing but hands. Simple, sufficient. The window reflects nothing now, no light to catch, no shapes to show, just pure darkness looking at darkness. The glass is irrelevant. It might as well not be there, except that you know it is there. You remember glass. You trust that it exists even when you cannot see it. Another sound, or the idea of a sound, or the memory of what sounds are like. It comes and goes so quickly you cannot name it, cannot categorize it. It was almost something. Now it is nothing. The transition happened too fast to follow. Time is not moving, or it is moving so slowly that movement has become theoretical, academic, something that happens in other places, to other people, but not here, not now. Here everything is suspended in amber, in honey, in the thick golden stillness of absolute rest. A memory of water again, always water. The human mind returns to water. We came from water. We are mostly water. Water is our first home, our last home. We understand it in ways we understand nothing else. It fills our dreams, our memories, our unconscious mind. Your breathing has become automatic, more automatic than it already was. The body breathes without consulting you, without asking permission. It knows what to do. It has always known. You are just the witness, the observer, the quiet presence that watches breath move in and out. The darkness is not empty. It is full, full of potential, full of peace, full of the gentle absence of demand, of urgency, of need. The darkness asks nothing. It gives everything: space, quiet, rest, the permission to stop, to be still, to simply exist without purpose. Another thought tries to form. It cannot quite manage it. Like a word on the tip of your tongue, like a name you almost remember. The thought hovers at the edge of consciousness, uncertain, tentative, and then it gives up, dissolves, returns to wherever thoughts come from before they become thoughts. The space between thoughts is your natural state. You realize this now. The thoughts were always the interruption. The space was always home. You have returned to where you always were, where you always are, where you always will be. Your body has merged with the chair, with the room, with the darkness. You cannot tell where one ends and another begins. The boundaries were always illusion, always arbitrary. Now they have dissolved completely and you are left with simple being, pure existence, unmarked, unnamed. The window is still there, but it has lost its meaning. It is just a rectangle of darkness in a wall of darkness. The division between inside and outside has become purely theoretical, philosophical. The darkness does not recognize walls, does not respect glass. It flows through everything, around everything, becoming everything. a sound like silence, or silence like a sound. The two have become interchangeable. You can hear the quiet, feel it, taste it. The quiet has substance, weight, presence. It is not the absence of sound. It is a thing in itself, a positive quality, a gift. Time has stopped trying. It has given up on you, or you have given up on it. The relationship has ended by mutual agreement. Time can continue elsewhere, doing what time does. But here there is only now, only this, only the eternal present that has no past and no future, just the endless unfolding of this single moment. Your heartbeat continues its ancient work. Lube-dub, lube-dub, the sound beneath all sounds, the rhythm beneath all rhythms. It has never stopped. It will not stop. Not yet. Not for a long time. It beats. You exist. These facts are one fact, inseparable, eternal. The darkness outside is the same darkness that exists inside. Inside your body, inside your cells, inside the atoms that make up everything. Darkness is the natural state. Light is what we add, what we create, what we bring to push back the dark. But the dark is patient. It waits. It knows it will return. It is already here. Another thought. This one about love, or about loneliness, or about the strange fact of being alive at all. The thought is gentle, philosophical. It does not insist on anything. It simply wonders, and then stops wondering, and drifts away like everything else drifts away. The space between thoughts is infinite. You could live here forever. You already are living here, have always been living here. The thoughts were just visitors, temporary guests in the vast house of awareness. The house remains when they leave. The house was always there. Your body is breathing you, not you breathing. The body doing its work, the work of staying alive, of processing air, of continuing. It does not need your help. It does not want your interference. It knows what it is doing. It has always known. The window shows nothing, will show nothing. The night has settled in completely, permanently, as if this is the new natural state, as if morning is a myth, a story we tell ourselves, a memory that might not be real. There is only night, only darkness, only this. A sound from far away, maybe a car, maybe the wind, maybe your own blood moving through your veins. The sound is irrelevant. It comes, it goes. The quiet remains. The quiet is bigger than any sound. The quiet contains all sounds, all possible sounds, all sounds that ever were or will be. Time is theoretical now, an idea someone had once. But here, in this moment, in this darkness, time has no application, no relevance. There is only the eternal now, the now that contains all time, all moments, all histories and all futures collapsed into this single, perfect, endless instant. Your eyes are closed, or open, or somewhere in between. The state of your eyes no longer matters. Seeing has stopped being important. What is there to see? What is there to look at? The darkness is the same whether you look at it or not, whether you witness it or not. It simply is. Another memory of being held, of being safe, of being small and protected and not needing to understand anything. The memory is ancient, pre-verbal, from a time before words, before thought, when there was only sensation, only feeling, only the pure experience of being alive. The space between thoughts has expanded to include everything. The thoughts have stopped coming. There is only space now, only quiet, only the vast, generous emptiness that holds all things, that allows all things, that judges nothing and welcomes everything. Your breath is barely there, a whisper of air, in and out, so soft, so subtle, the body doing its minimum, its essential. The rest has been released, let go, given back to whatever place it came from. The darkness is complete, total, absolute. There is nothing else. No light hiding anywhere. No possibility of light. Just this pure, clean darkness that asks nothing, that needs nothing, that simply is. And in that darkness, in that quiet, in that gentle space between thoughts, you rest. You have always been resting, will always be resting. The struggle was always unnecessary. The effort was always optional. You can simply be, simply exist. Simply breathe in this quiet dark room on this quiet dark night in this quiet dark moment that has no beginning and no end. Just this. Just now. Just being. Breathing. Resting. Here. Still. Quiet. Dark. Being. Here. Now. Here. The room holds you, has always been holding you. The walls stand quietly in their positions. The ceiling spreads above. The floor supports from below. Everything in its place. Everything doing its simple work of being structure, being shelter, being the container for this moment of stillness. Your fingers rest against fabric or wood or skin. The texture is there, but you have stopped registering it. Touch has become background. Like sound. Like sight. The senses have quieted. They are still working. Still transmitting information. But the information arrives and disperses without sticking. Without meaning anything in particular. Outside the window, the world continues. Trees stand in the darkness. Streets run between buildings. The earth turns on its axis. All of this is happening. All of it continues whether you think about it or not. Whether you exist or not. The world is generous in this way. It does not need witnesses. A thought about sleep. About whether you should move. Should shift position. Should do something other than this. The thought is weak. Unconvincing. It knows it has no real argument. No compelling reason why anything should change. It makes its case half-heartedly and then withdraws. The space between thoughts is all that remains. You have been here before. You have always been here. This is not new. This is the most ancient thing. The first thing. The quiet that existed before anything else existed. before light, before sound, before thought, the original emptiness from which everything came. Your body has found complete rest, every muscle loose, every joint released. The tension that holds us upright during the day has dissolved. You are held now by the chair, by gravity, by the simple fact of matter resting against matter. No effort required, no vigilance needed. The window is darker than dark. If darkness has degrees, if it can be measured, this darkness seems absolute, total, as if you are looking into the absence of everything, into the void. But the void is not frightening. It is peaceful. It is the natural state of things before we fill them with light and noise and meaning. Another sound. The house remembering itself. Timbers settling. Metal expanding or contracting. The small movements of matter responding to temperature, to time, to the slow pull of entropy. Everything is falling apart so gradually you cannot see it happening. You can only hear these small sounds, these gentle reminders. Time has lost all structure. There are no hours here, no minutes, no seconds marking anything. Just this continuous present, this eternal now. You could have been sitting here for 5 minutes or 5 hours. The difference is meaningless. Time is what happens when you are paying attention to it. When you stop paying attention, it stops existing. A memory of sunlight, bright and warm, falling through a window. Not this window. Some other window from some other life. The memory is pleasant but distant, like something that happened to someone else, like a story you heard once and half remember. But that was then. This is now. Now is darkness and quiet and the gentle rhythm of breathing. Now is enough. Now is everything. Your shoulders have found a position they did not know existed. Dropped, released. The muscles have remembered something, or forgotten something. Either way, they are softer than they have been in days, in weeks, in however long you have been carrying tension without knowing you were carrying it. The chair beneath you is completely familiar now. You have merged with it. The two of you are one system. One arrangement of matter in space. The chair holds. You rest. These are the same action, the same state of being. Another thought about tomorrow, about next week, about all the things that will need doing. The thought arrives wearing the costume of urgency, pretending to be important. But you see through it. You recognize it as just another thought, just another wave passing through. You let it pass. The space between thoughts is home, has always been home. The thoughts were just noise, static, interference in the clear signal of awareness. Without them, there is just this, just the pure experience of being, of existing. Of sitting in a dark room breathing quietly while the world turns outside. Your heartbeat is so steady, so reliable. It has been beating for years, for decades, for however long you have been alive. All those beats adding up to this moment, all those rhythms leading to this stillness. The heart knows what it is doing. It does not need supervision. The window reflects nothing, or reflects everything. The darkness looking at itself, seeing itself, being itself. There is no difference between the darkness outside and the darkness inside. They are the same darkness, the same vast, gentle, encompassing absence of light. A sound like breathing but slower, deeper. The house breathing, the night breathing, the world breathing, everything alive in its own way, everything continuing its own quiet rhythm, expansion and contraction, in and out, the fundamental pattern that underlies everything. Time is not a factor anymore. It exists somewhere, in clocks, in calendars, in the orbits of planets, but here it has no power, no relevance. Here there is only the eternal moment, the now that never ends, the now that contains all time, all possibility. Your eyes have stopped trying to see. They rest in their sockets, peaceful. The eyelids may be closed or open. It does not matter. There is nothing to see anyway. Just darkness. Just the gentle absence of visual information. Just the relief of not needing to process images. Another memory floats by. Of water again. Always water. Floating in water. Being held by water. The weightlessness. The surrender. The letting go into liquid support. The memory is soothing without being specific. Just the general sense of being held. Being safe. Being allowed to stop trying. The space between thoughts has become infinite, measureless. You could wander in it forever and never find an edge. Never encounter a boundary. It goes on and on. This quiet space. This generous emptiness. This home you never left. Your body breathes for you. Has always breathed for you. Before you knew you had a body. Before you knew what breathing was. The body came equipped with this knowledge. This ancient skill. This fundamental rhythm. You are just along for the ride. The darkness outside is the same darkness that fills the universe. The darkness between stars. The darkness between galaxies. The darkness that makes up most of reality. We live in small pockets of light, brief islands. But darkness is the ocean. Darkness is what everything floats in. A thought about gratitude tries to form. For this moment. For this quiet. For the gift of being able to stop. To rest. To simply exist without purpose or plan. The gratitude is too big to hold. It dissolves before it fully forms. Returns to the wordless feeling from which it came. The space between thoughts is pure awareness. Consciousness without content. Presence without object. The simple fact of being aware without being aware of anything in particular. This is what remains when everything else falls away. This is what you are underneath all the thinking and doing and trying. Your breath is a whisper in the dark. In and out. So gentle. So natural. The body knows exactly how much air it needs. How deep to breathe. How fast or slow. It calibrates constantly. Adjusts automatically. You do not need to help. You cannot help. You can only allow. The window is just glass now. Not a portal. Not a barrier. Just a thin sheet of melted sand standing between here and there. The distinction seems arbitrary. Unnecessary. The darkness is the same on both sides. The quiet is the same. Everything is the same. Another sound from the depths of the house, or from the depths of the night, or from the depths of your own body. Sound is everywhere if you listen. The hum of existence, the vibration of matter, the quiet song that everything sings just by being. Time has stopped entirely, or continues without you, without your participation. You have stepped outside of it, found this pocket of timelessness, this gap in the flow, this eddy where you can rest while the river rushes past. You are not in the river anymore. You are watching it from the shore. Your body is completely still, not tense, not frozen, just profoundly, deeply still. The stillness of stone, of earth, of things that have stopped moving and might never move again. But you are not stone. You are alive. The stillness is temporary, chosen, a gift you give yourself. The darkness is complete, has been complete for a long time, or maybe just started being complete. Time is too confused to know. The darkness does not care. It spreads itself evenly over everything. Fair, democratic, giving the same gift to everyone. The gift of not being seen. The gift of rest. A thought about nothing arrives, or a thought about everything. It is impossible to tell which. The thought is so vague, so formless, so completely without content. It might be a thought. It might be just the sensation of having thoughts, the ghost of thinking, the memory of what thinking was like. The space between thoughts is eternal, was here before you were born, will be here after you die. You borrowed it for a while, lived in it, made it your own, but it was never yours. It belongs to no one. It simply is, the quiet background of everything. Your heartbeat continues, will continue, is continuing right now. This steady pulse, this ancient rhythm, older than you, older than humanity. The same rhythm that moved in the first creatures to have hearts, the first beings to pump blood. The same beat, the same essential pattern. The window shows nothing and everything, the absence that is also presence, the emptiness that is also fullness. Darkness is not nothing. It is something, a thing with qualities, with texture, with depth. You can feel it, almost touch it, almost understand it. Another sound, or not, maybe just silence shaped like sound, the absence that feels like presence, the space where noise could be but isn't, the negative space, the rest between notes, the pause that gives the music meaning. Time does not exist here. This is important to remember. Though you are not remembering, memory requires time, requires before and after. Here there is only now, only this, only the single eternal instant that never ends and never began. Your body has dissolved into the chair, into the room, into the darkness. The boundaries were always permeable, always provisional. Now they have vanished completely. You are the room. The room is you. The darkness contains both, contains everything. The space between thoughts is all that remains, was all that was ever real. The thoughts were always illusion, always temporary, always just passing through. But this space, this quiet, this gentle emptiness, this is permanent. This is home. And so you rest here, in the quiet, in the dark, In the gentle space between thoughts, breathing softly, being gently, existing without purpose, without plan, without anything needing to happen or change or become different than it is. Just this. Just now. Just the quiet. Just the dark. Just being. Here. Now. Still. Breathing. Resting. Being. Here. Now. Here.